I've added one more Swede. Welcome, Threat.
Hello.
Okay, of course, Thorin and Fiflaren are still here, and we have NiP and Fnatic coming up. So, guys, NiP and Fnatic, let's go through the vetoes first. So, NiP removing Cobble, Fnatic removing Nuke. We have Fnatic picking Mirage, Dust2 going to NiP, and an Inferno Decider. So, what do you make of these maps and the vetoes?
Well, we're gonna have time to talk later. I think we should do the analysis.
That's true. I'm looking to you here.
See, Fiflaren's been paying attention here.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I know you think right. It's the analysis desk section. So what I'll do is me and the caster will talk for like half an hour, maybe like a minute from the guys on the analysis desk, and then back over to the casters. And then it goes like, and now to our casters. And what happens is the camera just goes, and you're like, oh, I am the caster. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the game. It's going to be a very interesting game here. Anyway, so what I think is, first of all, let's go with the vetoes. Like, I think Cobblestone's an obvious one for NiP to ban because of what happened last time. And then at this tournament, you saw like Fnatic's insane on Cobblestone. Maybe the best team, actually, even though they hadn't had to play it much. What about NiP, though? What were they vetoing?
NiP vetoed, they vetoed Cobblestone, and Fnatic vetoed Nuke. But
the Nuke one's an obvious one. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm kind of surprised that Fnatic picked Mirage. Like, I know they're really comfortable on it, and I guess that's why they picked it, but they could still have picked Overpass, which is a map I think NiP barely plays at all.
That's true. That's normal. That's the thing. Normally, NiP's first veto is Overpass, but now they've gone with Cobblestone because they're more worried about that. That could have been like a surprise one they did there. The thing is, though, I think when I look at these maps, that Fnatic's really confident on Mirage, though.
Yeah.
Like they think that we're definitely going to win this. They know they won it when they were in CCS with it, so I think they just think like that's a sure one for us.
I think NiP feels like they dodged a bullet. When they removed Cobblestone, I'm pretty sure they were like, oh, don't pick Overpass, don't pick Overpass. And then Fnatic picked Mirage, and they're like, they're good on Mirage, but we still play it, so it's like fine by us. Especially
more recently, they've been trying to pick it. They picked it against Envious, they picked it against Fnatic. Now, NiP picking Dust2 here, I'm actually surprised by that, because you have to realize at this point in the time, cash is still available. And okay, I mean, Dust2's the game yesterday where they had that really close game with immunity on it. I think Cash is a great pick for them. It's a map they've actually won in the past against Fnatic. What do you think of this pick here, Dust2 versus Cash?
It's really hard. I think Dust2 and Cash is kind of similar in that it's really even between the Terrorist and CT.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually like discussed it a lot, but probably they might have like a new pistol round or something like that that made them pick Dust2. Usually it's like things we cannot know before we see the game, that like maybe they have a new strat or something.
It does feel like one change they made on Dust2 where they now put Friberg in the pit instead of like the classic get right position. That's actually been working pretty well. And plus on this map, especially compared to something like Cash, feels like allu's AWP can be really good on Dust2. Like, I mean, that's the map you almost beat Fnatic on at the major.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think it's going to be a close game.
But if it goes to a third game though, Inferno, this would be the classic because this is like the home map of Fnatic, the one they kind of built this dynasty off. But NiP, in theory, is good Inferno team too.
Yeah, it could easily go to 16-14 or even overtime.
And obviously that was the third map in the major that went to a really close. I think it was 16-13 or something. Okay, casters, do you have anything you'd like to add before you talk for 2 hours continually?
I like how allu's like sat on the trophy stand there.
Okay.
so also it was funny before.
Do you want me to add my thought then?
Yeah, what do you
think?
So
Fnatic, they don't necessarily play Overpass that much either.
No.
So sure, for us it would make sense for them to pick Overpass, considering NiP hasn't played it probably for 4 months.
It's a while,
something like that, right? So and then opting to go with Mirage, I think it's I think they could have done the veto better. NiP, I call it right away. They're gonna pick Dust2 even before like that. It's one of those like vetoes, kind of like when Cloud9 vetoes. They always go and they always pick Inferno, even though they're horrible at the map, right? But they themselves feel that they're really good on this map. Same with NiP. It feels like they keep on picking Dust2. I don't know the percentage that they actually win Dust2 on, especially versus Fnatic and Envious as well. They seem to be picking Dust2 versus both of these teams quite a lot. So I don't know if they.
This is like a historic thing as well. Yeah. Like this isn't just in the last couple of months. This has been like the last like year or something with different lineups. It always seems to be that they go to Dust2, and they practice Dust2 a lot. So why do you think that is? Is there do you have a working theory? I mean, you were on the team also when they were.
I think the reasoning behind it is that they feel comfortable playing Dust2, and they feel like if they don't make any mistakes, they're gonna win the game.
Right.
Problem here is that they seem to be making those mistakes that they probably don't want to make, like all the time. Again, though, probably out of all the maps that was left in the map pool, I would probably pick Dust2 over Cash, knowing that Fnatic is probably better on Cash than they are on Dust2. So it's a good pick. And then, but I think that this veto itself is actually going to be quite even. So you have Fnatic picked Mirage, which both teams can play. I mean, you've seen NiP play it as well. Last time they played, Fnatic trashed them on it. But I think They probably learned from that game. And then coming into Dust 2, also very even. And then the third one was Inferno. So I mean, I think there is a very high possibility here there's going to be 3 maps.
Yeah. Any final thoughts to add there, guys?
No, I agree, actually. With the way the vetoes come out, I think it's going to be 3. Like, if it had been cash, I would have said, like, well, I think Fnatic's a favourite on all 3 maps. Like, I think we can get it in 2. I think it'll probably be 2-1 Fnatic. I'm going to say I'll say NiP get Dust 2, but otherwise I think Fnatic on Mirage and Inferno is the better team, so I think they should prevail.
Yeah, I agree. If it goes to the 3rd map, I think Fnatic will take it.
All right, so there are the predictions. Do you want to go any deeper as far as these 2 teams go? Because when it comes to NiP and Fnatic, these teams have played each other so many times in semi-finals and so on. So when people talk about matchups that are domestic like in this way, what impact does it have? I'm looking to you, Fiflar, and you, Threat, because of course you're both Swedish as well. So what is the difference here? Like when a French team plays a French team, when a Swedish team plays a Swedish team, what is the difference here than playing a top team from another nation?
I think it is like a lot more mind games because you're so used to playing like against them and even with them. Like a lot of teams just play gathers and stuff with like other foreign teams or like other teams from their own country. So it's like it's a lot of mind games. You know how they play. You know how they play their positions. And when you're playing yourself, it's like, oh, they know I usually throw these smokes and then I push up here. Like, do I have to do something differently? It's you get into this like kind of awkward mindset.
Is there a way to get ahead of this? Is there some something that you can try to do, or you just say, okay, we'll just play our game?
Yeah, I was actually gonna say as well. I mean, we seem to have depending on where you're from, you always have that specific playstyle as well. Swedes play differently. French people play differently, and you tend to have that, even though you may never have played with one another. That's still there, and I think that just goes back from even back in the day, like back in 1.6 and stuff. It's probably the same thing there. Like whenever I've been playing, I've always had a hard time playing against other Swedish people.
So,
like always.
So would you actually say, would you actually say that when it comes to NiP or Fnatic playing, let's say, an Envious or a Vespro or an RV or TSM or something, do you think that they'd rather play any of those other teams than play just that domestic match like in the World Mind games?
It depends what side they're on, though. If you're Fnatic, you'd rather play Virtus.pro Envious. If you're NiP, you'd rather play Fnatic, because actually you're, as the underdog, that's the thing, it's going to even it up a bit for you, whereas they'd rather play Fnatic than Envious, So I think it depends how strong you are. If you're the stronger team, you want to play the opposite ones. You don't want to even it up a bit there.
All right, guys, so we are going to be jumping into the match of me and Fiflar. So general consensus seems to be kind of a 2-1 close scoreline, but with Fnatic coming out on top. So let's get ourselves into the match, as it is going to be kicking off on Mirage. Now, Mirage is actually a map where I've seen NiP doing a lot better since allu joined the team. Do you think that's just because his AWPing is just the right style for Mirage, or what would you attribute that to?
I think there's a little bit of both. So obviously allu's AWP help a lot, but also because 3D Max used to play that map quite a lot as well. So I think that he just brought over a bunch of stuff that he knows that works on that map. Whereas for NiP, I mean, we never played it when I used to be on the team. When Michael joined, they started playing it a little bit. And then, but they still didn't get a hang of it. And then when allu joined, they started playing it more and more. I think they feel pretty comfortable playing this map. Probably not against a team like Fnatic, but like overall, if you play maybe a team that's not in the top 3.
So do you think Natu is going to be, of course, for those who aren't up to current events, Natu stepped in Pitter's place to be the coach of NiP, and he's here at this event. Do you think that he's going to be able to add an extra, or maybe a bit of an X factor to NiP? How big do you think the impact will be with Natu stepping in for NiP as a coach?
I think I don't think we're going to see that big of a difference, considering he just, recently, I think it was a week ago when they went official that he actually joined as a coach. But I think it's going to be the small things, whereas, let's say it's a very stressful situation, he might just come in and be like, guys, you're holding the ball, or you're the afterplant, you're holding the afterplant good, or guys, no one's watching this corner, no one's watching here. So just that, and it's small things, right? And that's the thing about when you're playing at this level, like when you have the top 3 teams, it's the small things that's gonna make you either win or lose. So that's why I think it's a really good idea to actually bring in Natu, because again, he has a lot of experience. He doesn't need to necessarily give them like new ideas or new structure, but just make sure that, because he knows what's going in everyone's head.
Right, so kind of like the more objective view of the team.
Yeah, and he can be like, he's watching all the monitors. If someone makes a mistake, or let's say someone baits someone, he's like, okay guys, just keep this in mind. Whenever you go out, go as a team, or whatever the idea might be, right? So it's just one of those, like, it's an extra opinion and it's an extra eye to actually extra 2 eyes to keep eye on the on the whole team.
Yeah, and actually there's also a lot that we can talk about regarding Devilwalk and how much he has to Fnatic, but we are going to the pistol round here. Mirage, map number 1 between Fnatic and NiP here at the FACEIT LAN finals for stage 1 of our league. And well, we're seeing pronax and KRIMZ towards A. Bit of a distraction here to try to draw some players away, and we've got the main push with the bomb around the B apps at the moment, but Xizt already getting some frags in, and the bomb will be spotted, so if this was going to be a fake, it's completely discovered, and they're falling back.
I think they actually... This pistol run actually seems quite familiar. I'm not sure if they actually did this one yesterday. But you can clearly see there that just throwing that one smoke, that's not going to fake anyone. So that's actually a bit of a misplay there, because they didn't even run up towards the A bomb site to try and actually sell the fake. It was just that one smoke, and he threw one flash as well, and that's about it. And you know, NiP is not going to fall for that.
They're really behind now going into this push, but KRIMZ is going to be able to take down a player in shadow, so things going actually pretty well on the entry of the site, but kind of pinned down at the moment on the bomb site, and there's no real way to get the cover to get the bomb planted. NiP still with 3 members left alive to provide that pressure. And the KRIMZ is going to be able to go for it, but there it is. There's the cover from olofmeister to get that bomb planted towards connector. In they go, though, for the double peek, but KRIMZ is just a little bit too quick. Oh my god, KRIMZ, 2 quick kills, and now it's going to be olofmeister up against allu, but he's got 15 points of health. And allu is charging in. He knows he's got to try to be proactive here, try to get the frag, as that plant is going to be awkward as hell to deal with. Here goes olofmeister just peeking up, spots the head, forces allu off the defuse, and disappears again, playing it perfectly. This is really tough for allu now. He's just going to go for the hold, and he's got his back to olofmeister, which does make the headshots difficult, but Olof will get the fast headshot, and there you go.
Very smart play by olofmeister, just playing the bomb there. And this is what I was talking about yesterday when we were talking about, you know, how I'll take Liquid as an example. You see the difference here when you have a team like Fnatic, like olofmeister. He's playing the bomb. He knows that, again, you need to defuse the bomb to win, right? He knows this. I'm not saying the Americans doesn't, but you see the difference there. Like, yeah, he played the bomb yesterday with Liquid, and they didn't. And it was a great play. I mean, allu, if he had stepped a little bit closer when he went to get the kit, he would have probably killed him off right away. But again, he didn't know where olofmeister was. So, great comeback by Fnatic on that pistol. They were a man down, managed to get the bomb down, and even win the round. So.
And that's just the regular, save here coming in from NiP.
Yeah, they're actually often. It's only 5/7s and actually no armor, so they were probably not. Oh, they're probably not going to buy next round anyway. But
they're going to have loads of cash though, and it is kind of nice to see more teams kind of leaning towards that, to have a healthier economy instead of just barely being able to buy just enough on the CT economy and lacking grenades or maybe an ult.
And I think that's the difference. I mean, if you tend to lose the round on the T side and you don't get the bomb down, then you can waste that extra money and just buy armor and stuff. On the CT side, if you lose the pistol round and you buy like full with armor and stuff, even if you save the next round, you're not gonna have everything you need coming into the real weapon round, the first or the 4th round.
And we're going to see the Fnatic try to finish on the A bomb site here to try to clean this round up really quickly. It seems like they have been successful in their fact-finding mission and have identified the safer site to go and take. So not a lot of time left, but plenty to get the bomb down and get it right. He's not been discovered. They didn't check that position. Oh no, he's going for the knife, and he actually gets the knife, picks up the SMG. What are we seeing? Get right picks up the kill under pronax. Is going to go for the defuse. There is olofmeister though, and Geralt will be pulled off the defuse as he hears his stepping very close by. olofmeister going to turn the corner and has to find Geralt, but he's delaying well. Look at this play from Geralt. He will finally go down, but so much damage has been done, and somehow they kill 4 players, and Geralt picking up kills with the SMG. That was ridiculous.
That and a knife. So I mean, look at it. He has 5k right now.
What the hell is
He's
that?
done. He can buy.
That is amazing.
Wait, is that? Why does it say 1-2?
I don't know.
But it's 2-0.
We'll get that fixed.
Yeah, I think it's 2-0 at least, right? Unless I just went completely blind. But yeah, I mean, great play by Getright, getting the knife, just causing them to. He actually got one more extra kill there. Poorly by Fnatic that they actually didn't clear off the site, which feels like a pretty significant mistake. If they just had cleared it off, chances are he wouldn't be getting. He wouldn't get
anything. Yeah. That was like the most cost-efficient play I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And that is pretty...
That was awkward.
Yeah, that was definitely awkward. And
he actually goes down.
And he picks up the weapon. He gets it out of there as well.
Wow.
And that's kind of cool if you can actually bring that into the next round, but maybe you can even get some damage done. They haven't got much map control at Fnatic, so could still abuse some of these choke points to get some extra kills.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you see NiP there as well, 157, an AK, and 2 P250. So, and it's still a 4-on-4. So if NiP guesses correctly here, they could walk away with this round as well.
It's not looking like they're guessing correctly, but maybe Friberg can pull out some get right moves. They are going to be waiting for the smoke to go away, but Friberg is going to be so deadly. There's the first head, snap with that 5-7, but that's going to be it. And he's going to come in with the AK, takes down olofmeister, and so much damage done in these rounds by NiP. With so little money invested, they're so cost efficient. Fnatic have lost so much money.
So you see that nice game this allu, because it was JW in the by the window, right, shooting at allu when he actually ended up dying. I'm pretty sure that all of us thought that he actually did not hit a single bullet. Not at all.
Yeah.
Probably, according to JW, he probably hit all of them. And he's like, okay, this game, it's bullshit. I'm done.
GG. But it's early days. We've got the AWP on allu now. They had, I mean, so much money for NiP. It's so ridiculous. And one thing I've seen from them a lot of the time against Fnatic is they, especially on Dust 2, we see 4 AWPs all the time on the map at once. It's crazy. Yeah. Loads of AWPs between these two sides. But at the moment, it's just the one on allu. And they have a nice defense on connector, Xizt and get right here for support. So really simple and straightforward setup here, and that's a nice little boost from JW. That's a very wide kind of peak to actually have.
And I mean, for Fnatic here, it's just a regular
they're moving
round
with it as well.
Yeah,
that's godlike.
I think he actually tried to get up there. But as you can see as well, Fnatic, they left the bomb in T spawn, so this is again just a regular standard round, just trying to get a pick or two and then fall back and execute on either side.
And interestingly, they're not going for a connector take, and that's going to tell NiP quite a lot about what's going on. But there is a man in CPL at the moment. We've got Olof in there behind the smoke. So are they going to figure this out? KRIMZ is lurking in Palace as well, so he could always cause some issues here. But Xizt will take down pronax, gets that long-range shot from connector onto short as they are moving towards B. And they've got 3 players now for NiP. They've moved towards B. They're kind of smelling out what was an intention to get that B split going, but it's not happening. KRIMZ has now opened up the A bomb site. Considering all that movement that was happening, because they thought it was B, KRIMZ is going to step in and capitalize. And now it's a 3-on-3. Fnatic, though, they're running out of time, but the bomb will get planted. And that's going to put the clock on the CTs. NiP coming in from multiple angles, trying to take it slow and steady, but get right's really low at the moment. And Friberg's going to have to, he's going to have to get a clean kill on JW here. Is JW going to be looking the right way? There it is, JW. Here's the stepping from Friberg, but get right comes into play as well. It's just on KRIMZ now, up in the Palace. Looking to see if he can get the frags, but Friberg's there with the first Angel. Going to lose that one. In goes Forest, though. Covers Get Right for the defuse. And that was quite scary, because Get Right actually had the least health of everyone. So
it was a good retake, though, from NiP. JW missing some crucial shots there in connector onto Friberg when he was down in middle. But I don't really want to call it a fake from Fnatic. KRIMZ was just there on A just to, you know, to try and hold off some more rotators from the NiP side, and then we just hit B. But since he got that one, that key entry there, they just opted to fall back and just hit the A bomb site. So that was a good idea. It's just that the afterplant just didn't turn out to be in Fnatic's favor.
This is like one of the reasons why Fnatic to me is such a good team. But we're going to see the pop flash over there for the quick slope take for NiP. Some information gathering there, but yeah, this is why Fnatic is so awesome to me, is because they always have these opportunities that they can create for themselves if they can't find something elsewhere on the map. If the plan A doesn't work out, well, KRIMZ is there to open up the rounds. If a rotation is caused, then that's exactly what happened. This is a connector smoke, I do believe, from JW. So, did that fail? Yeah, that failed. Okay, now that's actually going to be pretty annoying, because well, they don't actually have anyone even in middle here. And that's kind of the idea was that they want to stop NiP from seeing that there's no one in middle.
Yeah, because you actually had Xizt there by connector actually spotting, so it might actually have been allu, and he spotted that, okay, there's no one catwalk, you know, just keep on watching the B entrance.
They do have 3 people towards B apps though, and he's going to take down KRIMZ. So now again, they're in another situation where they just keep going for this. Well, they don't really have time to mess around, and they're going to go out of the app straight away. Forest there by headshot, able to get 1 kill. Allu in now from kitchen, from the shop area. He's going to go down as well. It's actually looking kind of bad here for NiP. They just got Xizt left alive in the shop. He's going to get pursued by olofmeister. He's going to find him and just has to, again, perfect play from Olof. Just trying to bait. But Xizt will still get the kill. 17 health left on him now, though, so things are going to get progressively more difficult as that bomb ticks away. And the money indeed is very low for NiP. Xizt needs to clutch this for them to buy in the next round. He's going to look for these angles. But again, 1-on-2 shouldn't be winnable here for Xizt. Fnatic play it by the book, and that's exactly what they're doing. Finds pronax, and that's it. Again, this is why Fnatic are so good. They just play the amazing counter.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at just the minimap there, when you saw 3 players from NiP holding the B bomb site and allu got the entry onto the site as well,
right?
You're like, well, this wasn't, you know, it's not gonna end up well.
Yeah.
They managed to actually come down and kill off Friberg first, and just left Forest on his known spot, and then just managed to actually finish the round. I do feel that Xizt, like knowing that he had 17 HP and he picked up the op, he should never try to retake that. Like, it doesn't matter how confident you're feeling. You had a kit, you had an armor, and you had an op. If you would have saved that for like this round,
this round,
yeah,
the support with the op, but there would have been
even the previous round where they were all saving, right? Just that one op, just to try and again. You don't expect to win with that op alone, but if you just kill off, let's say 2 or 3 Fnatic players during the round, it's just going to keep their economy in at a minimum.
Exactly, yeah. And you'll be getting the bonus money because you're CT as well by staying alive, so you can get drops in for your teammates. Yeah, there's all kinds of options. So definitely a bit of a crazy push. And JW's going to walk through the smoke here, so JW can walk through walls. As it does seem like we've seen a lot of smokes being treated as walls in recent times, but the rotation going to come all the way back through, and NiP pushing the B apartments, and they've gone with pistol armor this round.
Yeah, because they had to save that one extra round anyway. Because yeah, sure they will all have probably $4,000, but that wouldn't really benefit them. So they would be forced to save one extra round anyway. I like the way Fnatic are playing so far, though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, this was an eco round. They played it a bit faster, but the weapon rounds that they've been winning, it's very slow and methodical. That's not normally something you see from Fnatic. They tend to go very fast, try to clear the areas very fast as well. But they're taking their time now. They're just waiting for basically NiP to make a mistake.
And the thing that I like the most is about the point that you just brought up about the kind of rounds that they're winning, is that not only are they slow and methodical, is that they're getting basically. NiP are getting the advantage early in the rounds. Like, their plan A is never working out, but Fnatic are like, okay, well, if we just try to play it this way, then we can make it work. So they always have a way out of these situations that are bad. It's not like, it's like, oh, well, they just did this execute and just caught NiP off guard. No, it's like NiP are actually getting the advantages here, but
yeah, I mean, they're reading and play well. I mean, you saw both of the weapon rounds that Fnatic won. Both of them, they actually read correctly. That one round when they had 3 at B, it's just that they're getting out-aimed right now.
Right.
You know, they're getting outshot, so just if they can keep that, or if they can get that going with the aim duels and the one-on-one duels, then it will be looking a lot better for NiP.
And they're going to do the a similar setup as the previous round. They got 2 players close to the T-slope. Again, fact finding is very, very easy from that position, but what are they going to see? I mean, not all that much. There's no one around that area. It's most of Fnatic are around the middle actually right now. So we'll have to see how NiP decide to read this situation, because again, they've got that T-slope push. They don't see anybody. They're going to clear it completely. KRIMZ has often been in the palace area. It's actually flusha this time, who does tend to lurk more for Fnatic. And NiP could definitely be using some information right now. Fnatic finally going to reveal themselves. I was
going to say, this can actually hurt them. Look at NiP, right? So they pushed in A ramp. Xizt, he's so far behind now because he actually just rotated back, right? Or he rotated up to middle instead. He might actually catch 1 or 2 Fnatic players off guard here, though.
We're going to have KRIMZ going down to Xizt. He did manage to have himself up on top mid. Really nice position to catch Fnatic as they pull back out of connector. They need to get the bomb over towards A at the moment, which is completely clear. But it's going to be JW taking down Xizt finally, which will make their life a little bit easier to get through middle. And flusha's there to make sure that things are going to be looking alright on the A bomb site. And NiP, what is the best move here for them?
Save. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, they should try and retake. Once the bomb goes down, they should take a little bit of time, maybe 10 seconds. If they don't get a kill or 2, then just opt to save. But now, since you're getting the kills, now allu went down. But if they get this 1 kill here, you should keep on going. If you don't end up getting that kill within the first 10 seconds, chances are you would just opt to save because the time is running out and you're just going to be stressed and the retake will probably not be possible.
Right, and it's going to be olofmeister to take down Friberg to try to save this round. And wow, what a shot! Forest going down. Olof, great save from him. 7-1 now. It's as if every time. I mean, that. To be honest, when I saw that situation, 4 players. Wow, his keyboard, man, that's wobbling.
Yeah, I mean
that's keyboard.
So that's the trick behind the KRIMZ's ability to frag.
Is it? I mean, well, I'm saying, is it?
Actually,
but not really. That's not possible.
Okay, this is next level, right? Imagine if he's nervous and he shakes a lot.
Yeah.
Having that keyboard there, it might stabilize.
Come on, man. Come on.
It's some next level, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case.
That would annoy me so much.
Yeah.
That would annoy
again,
me
there
so
though,
much.
the previous round, NiP again did the right play, opting to go for the retake once the allu actually got that entry onto the retake. But then again, it just fell apart, right? All of them with 2 great frags just saved the round for Fnatic. And even though NiP's they keep on making the right plays, they're not getting the win, and it's just because Fnatic are playing again out aiming them right now.
Okay, so Fnatic in this round looking pretty safe, and we'll have to see if that story of the basically this out execution is going to continue in this series. Of course, it is pretty early days, but you have to admire just how methodical Fnatic are being at the moment, and also how much respect they give NiP, and how much you can obviously see, like what we were talking about before, where NiP and Fnatic it's that domestic matchup.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly, and that's Fnatic knows about this, NiP knows about it, and that's why you see Fnatic actually play the kind of game they're playing currently, because they know, okay, we probably wouldn't be playing like this if we faced another team, but knowing it's NiP, they probably want to try and go more aggressive this game, or we'll just wait for them, we'll play slow, and just wait for them to make a mistake or two.
Even NiP can definitely try to mix things up. They've got the double up going, Forest sort of ping from short, and I brought this point up earlier. And it looks like your double up is actually finding its way onto Mirage, and Forest is going to pick up the kill onto olofmeister. There's no top mid presence from Fnatic now, but they have got a lot of guys from underpass, and Xizt has got a really good position here. Forest is abandoned short, so we can't provide any support for Existence. So it's going to come down to Xizt and allu here. Allu's in the kind of jungle area, because Fnatic are boosting their way up into CPL again, and Xizt has to have heard the jumping here.
Oh yeah, he has. And again, it's the right play from NiP. They got the entry, they just fall back. So Forest, he went aggressive to get that entry, fall back to the B site, get more of a more defensive position. Whereas you have Xizt here, if they actually end up going towards catwalk, he has a perfect position to actually get a kill or two, right? And if they go towards A, you know they're middle.
Wow, Xizt gets the double though as they challenge Connector. That's the bomb down as well. KRIMZ is going to try to do what damage he can of the peak to Xizt. But Xizt is still staying on the same position, baiting them to challenge him, and they are finally going to take him down. But that bomb is on the stairs, and allu's going to take full advantage of that, and they clean it up. But I have to say, again, this might be the mind-reading thing. We saw the boost from underpass. Like, Xizt heard that he knew that there was a bunch on underpass, and so then they went for the boost to try to aim into short with the AWP. But at that point, around that timing, Forest had backed away, and he was just sitting on the van with the Friberg just chilling over
B. I mean, again, because it's the right play to do. If you go aggressive, you get the entry. Basically, you've done your job for the next 20 seconds, let's say, and then since you have the advantage, you let them make the next move, because you know that they're gonna have to try and equalize the score. So it was good play by Forest, and then Xizt again, like you said, he heard every move that they did in middle. He even heard that they had the 3 men in mid. So they just stayed cool and collected, and then Xizt managed to pick up 2, and then that was pretty much a game over for the round.
So now we're going to see the first set play from Fnatic, the first big A execute. We haven't seen this yet from them, and I'm sure NiP will be familiar with what a Fnatic A execute on Mirage looks like. Pretty standard, actually. We're going to see allu on the boxes, and these kinds of positions from NiP mean that we're going to see a lot of action. Oh no, flusha going to take down Get Right with that fire, and it's going to be 2 frags going away of Fnatic straight away. So that means allu's got to do something huge, but he gets absolutely nothing. Oh my god, they're getting crushed at the moment. Fnatic completely destroying NiP. Yeah,
you saw there, allu missing 2 key shots there on the site. Force missing 2 shots as well. And if you miss shots like that, well, clearly you're gonna end up losing the round, right? Like, you can't let that happen. And then obviously it was Get Right just got barbecued.
Yeah, indeed, good sense for them to have that in their set play to get that Molotov in. And have the mid push here with all the weapons. They haven't got any nades, so they want to get those kills in quick. But it is Oh my god, it's just brutal. Massacre down in middle. NiP players all just lying dead on the floor. Get Right's alone, but this Fire seems to be finding Get Right all the time, and that looks so weird. It looks so weird.
And the thing is, this always flusha always does this. Like yesterday, he's jumping around, you know, playing Call of Duty and gets the kills like midair and stuff. You saw their previous round when Forrest had the op as well when he missed a shot. That was also flusha just jumping around. This round as well, he just, oh yeah, I slipped and fell, and oh sorry, you can't kill me. It's
like to him, he's not falling. He's just like,
yeah,
I'm just like crouch walking off the edge. Super weird.
Like he found a way to break the game basically. And
yeah.
That doesn't happen too often.
Okay, so we're gonna get the cleanup here from Fnatic. Generally, when we have situations like this, when we have the immunity and liquid, when we're seeing them, you know, missing any shots or any mistakes that have been made, it's much like with NiP. I'm not worried, for example, that NiP, like allu, for example, missing those 2 shots. Oh my god, he's like missing shots. Oh my god, this is like really bad. But these guys have so much experience that there's not going to bother them too much, right?
Exactly. I mean, yeah, and the same thing here. You don't see, for example, you don't see NiP make like gameplay mistakes.
Yeah,
it's just they're not hitting their shots, right? And there's a difference. So obviously they have the right game plan and everything. They know what to do. They know how to play. You know, when they get an entry or two. The problem right now is that, you know, they can't kill anyone. They're not killing anyone. It's causing them to lose so many rounds, and you can't. That can't happen.
Yeah, at the end of the day, in Counter-Strike, you must kill people.
Yes.
I mean,
that's the idea, right?
Yeah. Indeed.
Can we take a look at the scoreboard real quick? Oh yeah. Okay,
Denied.
Denied. No, okay, so it is. I just wanted to make sure that it's actually correct.
KRIMZ is gonna give it to you.
Yeah, there we go. Again, yeah, you see there, like it's very even on the NiP side.
Kaden's trolling you pretty hardcore right there.
Well, I just want to see the score to make sure it was actually the right one, because it was glitching out earlier. So it is actually indeed 11 to 2 right now.
Oh no, allu
yeah,
with that push. Going to take down 2 players. So really good stuff here from NiP. They're going to get aggressive in a different way this time around. And they're using that smoke against Fnatic to cover the push down underpass, I think, if that was in time. So 4-on-2. This should be pretty relatively, I'm not going to say it will ever be easy against Fnatic, but this should be straightforward for NiP. They should know exactly what to do, you know, and they have the opportunity to get good trades in if Fnatic go for the challenges. But it's going to be allu who finds the pick onto middle of Olof, and that's going to drop the bomb. So NiP now, they know where the bomb is. flusha, I think his position is relatively known. And yeah. Yeah,
and he only has the smoke to work with as well. And great round by allu. I mean, it's really good from the NiP side to actually switch things up. Going aggressive there, he actually gets to...
that was on him.
No.
No?
No.
Slightly off?
It was on him first, but when he spotted him, he actually moved his mouse a little bit to the right, because I'm pretty sure like he expected flusha to strafe instead of just sat down. Yeah, so you actually see like probably if you go slow motion, you're gonna see that little twitch towards the right, and just cause him to miss.
Man, you can see everything in slow motion. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I'm old. I see everything in slow motion. That's why I don't have any reactions anymore.
So we have 11-3 scoreline, so it's looking really good for Fnatic so far. But NiP showing no signs really of that it bothers them, as you said, just missing the shots at the moment. And into this round, Pronax is going to get flashed up into short, wins the pick against Forest, and now it's Friberg over by the apartments who has to do all the damage. He's going to be able to take down JW, who's running through the smoke with the AWP. KRIMZ gets the trade though, so 3-on-4 in favor of Fnatic as they have the B bomb site, and NiP. It's the last round of the first half, so they've got to go for this. But can they get the job done? Get right to the man in the shop at the moment as the bomb is planted. Let's put down some fire to make life a little bit harder for Fnatic to get the peek onto the window. And olofmeister in middle. So really awkward positions for NiP to defend against when they're trying to retake the site. So good stuff there from Fnatic. 12-3.
Actually, I actually want to point something out. I talked about this a little bit earlier, or yesterday even, the reasoning why NiP picks the T side on certain maps. And this is exactly why. You saw here, I don't know who won the knife round. If NiP did, they probably should have picked the T side. Because you saw there, again, they're very slow starters. And you can clearly see that. They need a little bit, like a half a game. Oh, did Fnatic won the knife round? Okay, he's nodding. So Fnatic won. So they actually opted to start the T side. Smart. That's very smart by Fnatic. It's probably something NiP would have done as well if he actually had won the won the knife round as well. Because again, you see they're cold. You know, they can't hit shots. Starting on the T side where they get to run around, they get to aim, and you know they don't have to take these passive angles because you need to be warmed up for that. You need to actually be able to hit your shots to have like to hold passive angles. Whereas if you're on the attacking side, you can. Well, there you go. He's warmed up. Nice.
Well, yeah. Let's see if they can get the advantage here. We're into the pistol. Now, how hot are NiP now in this second half? So pronax gets one. That's it though. This gives NiP a really nice take of the bomb site. Bomb is being planted now by Forest, and they've got the backstab in right now. I think it's Get Right, of course, but olofmeister expects that, does turn around, takes down Get Right, and flusha's working in from short. So actually, Fnatic are pushing in really fast at the moment, much faster than NiP would like, onto the positions. It's still a 3-on-3 though, but here we go. We've got the trades coming in. Xizt in the apartments, and this is a really key position now. It is planted for apartments. Now, if Xizt makes one single misstep, and he will, KRIMZ will take the frag, and it's going to be the round for Fnatic.
Yep.
Not much to say?
No, I got nothing to say. I mean, great entry by Get Right. They got the B bomb site. pronax killed one, and then he ended up going down. Then it was just about after plant. KRIMZ with some nice shots. Xizt there again. When you have that low of an HP, you just have to gamble. You have to gamble there. You either peek or you just wait and just hope that he's fake defusing, right? He didn't do that. He managed to. So he waited probably 4 seconds and then he peeked. So just in case, right? But due to the low HP, he just ended up dying. So
yeah, trying to play it as safe as he could given the circumstances. And well, it's going to be the push into the apps, and they've already. I mean, they got the bomb down the previous round here, so flusha's going to be cleaning up. Get Right.
Cleaning house.
Yeah, just spraying that P90.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of crazy how much more with P90 we're seeing lately, but NiP got the bomb down on the pistol, so they have that third round buy instead of the fourth round buy. So the problem is for them is that they have no space to work with. It has to be a huge comeback here.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. And this is probably during the time again, you haven't seen them on the T side yet, right? So for them to change like the idea of their how they would like to play, that shouldn't really happen. They should still stick with their game plan coming into the game. But like you said, they have no room for mistakes. So the game plan they have, they can't afford to make a mistake or two because it's gonna cost them.
So olofmeister is in a good position here right now on the underpass, and he's going to hit the firing, and he's going to take the opportunity. Wow. Oh my god, Get Right. Quick adjustment there. Flicks down to olofmeister, takes him down, and it's going to be a 5-on-4 after just a very slow start. And if he get a pick from the aggression of Olof, and now Fnatic, they've got to try to figure out what's going on because there's still quite a lot of time for NiP to do anything, but they're taking middle now into the mid rounds. 4 players here for them, and again, they can still do anything from this.
Oh yeah, for sure. You see here actually pronax being a man down, they want to try to equalize the man-to-man ratio. After the push, just ended up going down. 5-on-3 bomb is down. Fnatic should just save here. Just try to take positions where you can actually kill off the NiP players so they don't build their economy too much. Yeah. Exactly what JW is doing. He's just going to wait here for the rotation and just get a kill or two, so they have to rebuy the weapons. Yeah, same with flusha you see here. So they're playing it very good right now.
I mean, if they survive with 5 guys, that would be pretty amazing. Flusha's going to make sure that doesn't happen, but like clean rounds is NiP need that really badly. Of course, they can't lose any rounds, but they need the ability to take losses of players in rounds to always be getting the buys and the nades in.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep their options open.
Yeah. So good round by NiP. olofmeister, Get Right, I should say, with the entry fry there. Very quick on the reaction time. So yeah, there again, you saw NiP there as well, playing it very safe, right? Very passive on their T side in the beginning of the round. Just waiting for Fnatic to potentially push, which is also something you don't see too often. But since they know each other, and since they know, especially Fnatic being 13-3 up before that round, they probably knew that, okay, something was coming. It's probably going to be an aggressive play.
And it's pretty passive here from NiP. They're expecting maybe something a bit risky from Fnatic. Fnatic have got a lot of really good mid aggressions and mid setups that aren't even necessarily too aggressive, but they've got like 3 guys kind of like on middle, like CPL, and 2 guys actually in middle. Like that's something that Fnatic do really well, and you can see NiP just don't want anything to do with middle at the moment.
Yeah.
If Fnatic are going to be pushing it, they want to be there with the better angle for that timing.
Yeah, exactly. I think you actually saw the smoke coming. Yeah, you saw the smoke coming into the window now in middle, so now this is there. They're cute to actually take it over.
And they have a guy in underpass as well, so it's pretty standard here. They're going to be able to get that 3-pronged attack onto A if they can get through to connector safely.
Yeah, it's going to be an A split here. You see the bomb coming in too. You have one in Palace and also Xizt down there by the A main. So
JW's actually, I think, by Shadow as well, so he's going to have to do a really good job. If JW's actually able to take down the bomber really fast, that's going to make a huge difference. But they're going to go straight into connector. KRIMZ doing what KRIMZ does. Takes down 2 players towards connector. There's the third one. And that is going to really just completely hamstring this push. But the bomb did make its way onto the A bomb site. Allu and Xizt able to actually get the frags on JW and olofmeister, who were close to the bomb site, and it's going to give them a chance here. But flusha moving in with the P90, spraying down Xizt. No mercy there from that SMG. Allu's all alone against 3 players, trying to get those one-on-ones. He's actually going to get a couple opportunities, but he gets overwhelmed in the end.
It's really, I mean, yeah, so 3-on-2, the bomb is down. You would think, you know, they have a chance. But when you saw NiP's position on the bomb site, having 2 on the site, there's a very slim chance you actually end up winning that round. Because you have nowhere to go. There's like no escape for you. So the only thing Fnatic has to do, especially when they get the first one, is obviously just rush Allu when they find out that he's also on the site. So, good plant. It's needed since they managed to kill off a few people. You still see Xizt and Forest having the Tech 9s because, like we were talking about before, if they would have survived 5 people the round previously, they would probably be able to buy AKs. But since Fnatic managed to kill a few people off from the NiP side, they can't afford it this round.
And this round looks quite interesting as well. I mean, you're always going to run into that problem of KRIMZ when you go for a connector. 3 kills, pretty devastating to that push. But the smoke goes into middle there, and the bomb is going to follow as well. Xizt moving in with his teammates, a couple of his teammates up from top mid. Now, where do they want to finish this time? They can get that B split going now. They've got Allu in the B apartments. They've got the smoke on CPL again. And connector's still visible through onto short, so that might be a bit of a problem here. But it's just, I think, olofmeister who has that angle. But they've left a guy in connector now, and Allu's opening things up. Going to try to make his way through, get some extra ground onto the bomb site. His teammates charging through. Great movement here from NiP as a team together, pushing onto that bomb site. And GetRight still lurking. You can see KRIMZ is watching his back just momentarily as he moves into position for the retake. Things not looking too hot here for Fnatic, despite being on map point. It's going to be NiP with a 4 versus 1 advantage. We saw KRIMZ win a very funny situation in this kind of spot yesterday, but he's up against NiP here, and GetRight going to find him on the flank. So good stuff there from NiP. Really nice round. And Fnatic, well, they've got 10 rounds to play with.
I would actually say that round they actually just did when they split B, going towards that catwalk area. Because again, Fnatic, they're very strong on A. KRIMZ does a great job on A. So I think actually doing that B play is probably Fnatic's weakness on this map. Because again, if you just consider both of the maps or both of the sites, their A site play is so much better than their B site play.
And this is not... Oh no! Oh my god!
Him. What?
Xizt is so lucky to actually be alive at this point. Like, if he was like a footstep forwards, Xizt would be dead. But instead it's going to be GetRight cleaning house in the middle. They're going to save this round. It could have gone very horribly considering the bomb was up there. And it's okay.
Yeah.
It just, they only lost that.
Yeah, that could have turned out horribly for
That was so scary.
But yeah, for NiP now, it's just about grinding rounds. You know, you need another 9 rounds.
So if you're Fnatic, what are you looking for? Just saving for the best possible setup every time?
Yeah, I mean, you see here, Fnatic, they had the money, right? They had quite a bit of money. They had ranging from 3.6k to up to 5k, I think.
But they want big buy.
Fnatic, yeah, but they you know, again, opting to save, buying some pistols to make sure that the next round they're going to be able to afford anything they want.
Okay, so 3 players in middle for Fnatic, just an early mid presence to see what's going on. And they're just waiting for NiP to do something here. And it's going to be Allu who's going to be able to pick up 1 kill into KRIMZ already. And I guess he must have killed him as he was on the angle on top of this balcony area above Shadow. JW's going to go and look and see what he can find. But Allu actually repositioned himself really well there.
Yeah.
Good
and again, he's just holding. No need to do anything else. There's a lot of time left on the clock. And again, he's alone there, right? So he, you know, take a pick, fall back, hold your position, and just wait for your teammates to arrive.
Okay, so the nades are going to come in, and NiP, they pretty much telegraphed exactly what's going on to Fnatic. Fnatic getting with pistols, and see what the damage they can do here, and so far it's not really all that much at all, and everyone for NiP is still standing. Bomb is planted, and Fnatic just trying to get everyone in position before trying to go in for a bit of extra damage, but perhaps trying to work those exits as well. olofmeister in a good position to catch anybody moving through connector. But Forest is going to see just the pixels. So it's not a complete blind spot from that angle.
Yep.
So that's not going to work out for him. Pronax 1 HP. He's going to go down as well. He's being a little bit sneaky here, but there you go. Forest will finish him off. So another round for NiP. It is the long, slow grind. It's just a grind for NiP at this point.
So there, Fnatic with a lot of money. Since we don't see the actual game now, do you think we're going to see an auto sniper?
I think so, actually. I mean, they're getting a lot of clean rounds. Oh, you mean on CT side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Nailed it. I was actually going to call
it a triple AWP.
Yeah.
Do you want to AWP and auto sniper or triple AWP? I don't know, which is better.
Well, the auto sniper, so where is Olof actually? He's probably on the A-bomb site down at the ramp towards CT spawn.
So what happened with the AWP there? Because Xizt was holding an AWP for some reason for the triple AWP, and now he drops on the floor. Obviously, triple AWP is a bit ridiculous. That's kind of not a smart thing, I think. But
yeah, yeah, I wouldn't really.
So did the accidentally? But I'm not sure. We'll come back to that point a little bit later here, as we're getting all the peaks from all the AWPers.
Wow.
Oh, JW, what a peak there! With they're just finishing off with the crouch, kind of pre-firing that spot almost, and he is going to get the frag. Passive stuff here from NiP so far. They're going to make their way in to middle finally, after about a minute or so. But flusha is going to win the 1-on-1 against Friberg, and there's no trade there. So 3 players now for NiP. This is looking bad for them. They could be losing map number 1 very soon.
Yeah, pronax jumping, so he actually spotted Get Right, just falling back. flusha with another kill.
They've got to go huge right now. Get Right, going to go down, and it's just all onto Xizt. So going to get taken out too. So it's 16-7, and that was a very straightforward map, actually.
Yeah, and actually, like that. So you might look at the scoreline, right? And you're gonna realize what I'm laughing about in a sec here. But yeah, you might look at the scoreline here and say like, okay, well, you know, NiP, they got totally outplayed. What's the difference here with NiP losing 16-7 with Liquid losing their game, right? So basically, okay, what happened is Liquid actually, during this game, if you looked at NiP, Liquid actually had the aim to take on Fnatic when they were playing. The reason why, but they didn't execute well. The difference here is that NiP, they were so cold going into the game, they just couldn't kill anyone, like none whatsoever, and it just had them fall behind so much. And by the time the map is actually, you know, the map, or they switched halves, it was way too late. You know, Fnatic had just raffle thumped them to the ground. So again, this has always been one of the NiP's issues, where when they go into the first game of the day and they're super cold. And this is probably, you know, this is one of the main concerns, and they really need to work on it. So that's why I was asking about who won the knife round, because I can almost guarantee it. If NiP had won the knife round, they would have started T-side.
All right. Well, we do have our other analysts back. So, guys, you're watching that match, and it seemed like a very straightforward affair. What were your thoughts?
Straightforward in terms of winning. It shouldn't be straightforward in terms of how the map's played usually, though, because actually part of the reason why a lot of teams might, if you're a good team on Mirage, you want to start T-side, it's just to kind of get a gauge on where you are. Like, how many CT rounds will we actually need on this map? Like, if we get anything more than like 4 or 5, okay, now we're kind of in the bonus. Well, Fnatic was way up there from the very beginning of the game. They almost had the game won, essentially, like 2/3 of the way into the first half itself.
Yeah, when you get to 8-1,
it's very unlikely. And on top of that, like as Florence mentioned there, it's not that they were doing it just by like, oh, they're just unbeatable right now. Yeah, their execution was really good. KRIMZ was very, very good. But also, NiP players did not turn up to frag. Like normal players that you expect to get right, etc., to be getting these kills, they were just getting killed easily, and the site's getting taken for free.
Yeah, the NiP plays didn't look on point at all. And also, I want to question the way NiP played at CT side. I was standing behind KRIMZ and olofmeister, and they were just walking mid as terrorists, and they're like walking up connector, and they almost look like question marks. Like, where are the NiP players? Like, they could just walk up connector, they can go up short towards the B. Like, they didn't even meet an NiP player. Maybe NiP had like some weird anti-strat planned or something, but like it obviously didn't work.
Well, we've seen time and time again on a map like this, if you just leave that whole mid area open and let people walk up completely for free, you're not even spotting them. It's not even that you have to kill people, not even spotting them anything. Then you're going to get in these situations where you're never going to be on time because you're only reacting to the rotation. Like you're waiting to see flashes like, oh, now I know to go to this site. Whereas we didn't get to see much of it here, but when a team like Fnatic plays the CT side of this map, I've talked to teams who practice them, and they're like, oh, you go into the site and there's always one guy extra than there should be. And the whole point of why they're saying that is because they're like, we didn't give away anything that could have told them that we were going there. That's the whole point. Fnatic tries to get the information early and then make a guess off it. So even though they might have just spotted into the balcony area in B, they can guess from that, and then based on who they've got looking mid, if you're coming A. So they didn't technically see you coming A, but they can kind of process of elimination know that that's what you're doing. So it's like a little subtlety to playing the CT side, but we've just seen 2 CT sides here that were really poor from Liquid and now from NiP, and that's part of it. They're playing very passive. They're letting the terrace dictate exactly where the action takes place, and it's very hard to ever retake that site. If there's 4 terrorists alive and they've got smokes down, you don't know where anyone is.
Yeah, it's impossible. Like, when I was standing behind olofmeister, he always went into that vent room, like next to CPL, and he heard the guy rotating between A and B all the time. It's like, oh, he's rotating for B now, and pronax was like, okay, let's just go B, and there were only 1 CT player there, like, and it was like NiP didn't even know that he was in there.
Yeah. I have to say though, yeah, like Fnatic at the moment, Fnatic was excellent, but it feels like part of what made it such a blowout was the NiP players not turning up. They should have been a closer game. I still think I would have had Fnatic taking them up, but I would have said it would have been like 16-10 or something. At least get some rounds on the board. Whereas that devastating CT misperformance from NiP there meant they didn't even get into this game. And if they play like that on the next game, they're going to lose Dust 2 as well. Now, I don't think that'll happen because it's like a reset. It's a totally different map. Let's say even they start CT side on this map, then you can get the AWP rolling. There's ways it can turn around here.
Yeah, for sure. It's absolutely open the next map. I wouldn't look too much into this, but NiP has to step up their play, and they should just try to play more standard and not that like funky passive kind of style.
One of the things that's worrying for them though is that at the last tournament, the CCS, they actually picked Mirage into Fnatic, and they're thinking to themselves, right, well, we don't want to play Inferno versus them, we don't play maybe we don't want to play Cash, I'm not sure. We're running out of maps to play against them, so they were hoping Mirage is going to be their new map to play against them. Okay, well, after these 2 performances, especially this one here, I'm not sure going forwards if they can even pick Mirage, or maybe they have to start practicing Overpass or something.
Yeah, they have to do something at least.
They're waiting for train.
So I mean, we have Dust 2 coming up, and every time I see these 2 teams play Dust 2 recently, we see 4 AWPs all the time. And both teams want to have loads of AWPs. What do you think about this style of play on Dust 2? And if, I mean, allu is not hitting his shots, is that just going to basically cripple them?
Yeah, I think so. The most important position on Dust 2 is probably when you play the car and you're defending short.
Like the crossover?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's so crucial that you hit those 2 shots when they're like passing, the Gandalf box. I think most people know which box I'm referring to.
Yeah.
So,
do you know that?
Yeah,
you know the Gandalf box.
Yeah, because you shall not pass.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's a CT map now, but it's also kind of a T map considering you have to have those AWPs as CT.
So economy.
Yeah, exactly. You can get so screwed economy-wise as CT. You can't go for those like SMG buys on CT Dust 2. Like, where are you gonna stand? You can play defensive on A. It's impossible. You need those AWPs. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Any thoughts, Robin?
Oh, we can talk about it.
We can talk
about Dust 2.
Yeah, on Dust 2 here, I think, it's the 2 AWPers who I think kind of the biggest impact here, because for NiP, I feel like allu on this map, whenever I've seen them do really well, he's always the guy top fragging, and he's having great impact, like picking people mid, going long. The guy I think for Fnatic who can have the most impact is JW. Like, this is a map actually where Fnatic themselves aren't that strong on the map, but he's very strong on it. I mean, even when they lost to TSM at CCS in that first round, he had like 20 plus, maybe 30 kills even, so he can have a huge impact. And obviously, if allu's going, then you need to have an AWP who can go against him. You can't just play rifle only. That's one of the interesting things about the last sort of 6 to 8 months, is that we went from Fnatic and Envious, LDLC back then, being mainly rifle-only teams. They'd sometimes have an AWP, to a meta now where it's like if someone... Here's the thing that happened. It happened in 1.6 as well. We had rifle-only WoW. But what changes it is when other people get dominant AWPers, then you need something to counter that. Otherwise, you're just rifle guys trying to pick an AWPer one by one, and that's not great, So I feel like the metagame now is that every team, to a degree, does need an AWPer now. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Like, if you don't have an AWP to counter the AWPer when you're a terrorist, for example, you need to at least have like set smoke rounds, and then you need like the full set of nades just to deny the AWPer. We saw Fnatic having a huge problem with KRIMZ at the last CSS tournament. He was just standing at that car position I was talking about earlier, and Fnatic didn't seem to have like a set smoke where you can actually like build a wall of smokes towards the A site. But they were like, okay, just YOLO out and just try to kill him, and it obviously didn't work out. Yeah. So yeah, I think they either need JW with an AWP or they need to have some kind of like set strat to counter the AWP from allu.
So one thing I noticed, which was very interesting, when I was talking to Devilwalk when he was here, was he was talking to me about his impact essentially as a coach, how much he studies the game, and how in some of the majors when it's NiP and Fnatic they're often going to face, and they have to be prepared. Yeah. So they're studying demos, and Dust 2 was a map that they studied very heavily, him and pronax, and they're like looking for patterns and so on. They found a lot of patterns for NiP. They're able to exploit them and actually beat them by completely counter-stratting them in the tournament. Natu's joins as the new coach now for NiP. Do you think he's going to have as positive an impact as Devilwalk? Because Devilwalk provides a complete contrast to pronax, and they can kind of switch the calling between them.
I almost think it's a bit unfair to judge, firstly because he's only had a few days, literally between the last tournament, and then secondly because Devilwalk played in Fnatic. He played with pronax, and so he not only knows the Fnatic players, their strengths, but he knows what pronax's strengths are. Like, from what I've noticed of when Devilwalk's behind them and he has one of those headsets where he can talk, is he's not the guy telling them like, oh, and on this round you're going to do this. It's more like he's trying to look for things that pronax didn't notice, like, oh, hey, maybe we can do that tactic we discussed before, and it's more like he just consults with them, okay? Which actually, if you think of like real sports, you don't just have the coach, you have like the assistant coach, and that's the idea. They know other aspects, and they're trying to be like a committee to get like the best decision overall. So I feel like that's where Natu could do that in the future, because Xizt is a guy who can be a bit stubborn. He's a bit set in his ways, and he just decides he wants to do things. So maybe Natu can just add in some consultancy there. I don't think he's going to like revolutionize the whole gameplay and redesign things. So I think give him time before we can judge that. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that's very, very fair. Any thoughts on Devilwalk as the coach and the impact he brings to Fnatic?
Yeah, I actually heard he made a call for the T pistol round, so it actually seems like have a huge impact in the way they play.
He did say to me that him and pronax have like great respect for how one another views the game, but they don't agree on a lot of stuff, and that's why he thinks that the dynamic works, because sometimes he's actually able to say, like if pronax's calling style is not going well, he says, he has a much more aggressive calling style, so he'll try something, even if pronax doesn't agree, they'll try it out because they're having problems, and that enables them to have that kind of versatility. And I mean, because Fnatic are, you've ranked them, Thorin, as the best team at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you think that because coaching is kind of a new thing, do you think that this is something that is really going to be important for NiP in the future? Is it a big edge for teams to gain?
I don't think you have to do it, because actually 2 of the tournaments that Fnatic won last year was when they didn't have Devilwalk with them at all. When he was actually in like Asia or Australia or something, it was when they won FACEIT and when they were Frogbite Masters. He wasn't there for those, so they could win anyway because they have a great in-game leader, great team, great style. But like I say, it just adds like a little something extra. So for someone like NiP especially, it could be very valuable, because it could give them a little edge to get them closer to Fnatic, or maybe help them overtake Envious. I mean, Envious doesn't have someone doing that, and they're still a fantastic team. So I think at its core, you don't have to have it, but if you can, it's a great luxury to have. It's more like, that's why I say it's more like an assistant role, because it's not like he even has to be right all the time. If he just makes a suggestion, the idea is the in-game leader is going to take that information, he's going to make the call anyway, but he just has more information. So every now and then you'll give him something that's useful. If you give him something and, from his in-game view, he's like, nah, that wouldn't be right for now, he can just discard it. So there's really, as long as you have the right dynamic then, it's not like someone in control, I don't think it can go wrong. So I think it's good that NiP's trying it out, because they were a team that, like I've said, they were looking for some answers, They tried all the different positions. They've tried different players now. They've tried changing the maps they play. Well, what's left to change at that point in time? Maybe like coaching or in-game leader. So rather than just yank out Xizt, who's played all the time, they're going to try a different coach approach. So I think it's the right aspect to, like, we have to change something, so let's test this out.
So a threat. So regarding NiP at the moment, what would you say is necessarily the biggest problem in the team? What would allow them, you think, to get just closer to Fnatic? Is there something that's obvious to you, or is it just like a lot of little things?
I think they might be like too confident in the way they play, because when they start to lose rounds, like I think Fnatic was up like 8-1, they don't have like this timeout where they like talk things through. They're more like, okay, let's just go, guys. We're gonna kill them or whatever. Just playing more kind of a like casual style, not really discussing the strategies, and I think that's hurting them.
Some people have said to me that NiP kind of play a more of a gentleman's CS, where they're not trying to be very abusive and exploitative.
You know the problem with that, though? That reminds me of a scene from my favourite show, Game of Thrones, okay? Do you remember when that guy, Bronn, is fighting with the guy near the Moon Door, the Knight of the Vale, okay? Yeah. And he's representing Tyrion's honour in this trial by combat. And as they're fighting, he like knocks this guy out the door. And then this boy goes, "You didn't fight with honour." And he goes, "Nah, he did."
Yeah,
that's what I think of NiP not abusing pistols and all this stuff. You have to. What's great about Envious is they abuse everything. Yeah. They're not just good at CZ. Whatever is overpowered, they will abuse and they will go to the max. If you can exploit them going through and the guy can't see where you are, they're going to do that all the time. So you can't just sit back and go, no, this is a gentleman's sport. That's totally unfair. You should only face your... It's not like samurais, like Bushido code, like you can't stab someone in the back. You can get stabbed in the back, mate. There's some lessons for the kids. You can get stabbed in the back. So stab someone else in the back before they stab you.
Wow. And on that,
not in real life, that was a
on
metaphor,
that
kids.
glorious
it was a
note
metaphor.
from Thorin,
That's so dark.
you can take it in any context you want.